Happy New Year and welcome to the award-winning movie podcast. And this week we've got a very simple episode to kick the new year off. We are talking about the biggest movies of 2025. And we're going to crown a winner of who takes home the title of Best Movie of the Year. Enjoy the pod.
2025.
Yeah, what came out in 2025?
I know films that came out. I don't know any people that came out.
Fuck's sake. I don't either, actually. I think everyone in my life who came out long ago.
Yeah, say I missed her coming out.
You missed it. You missed yours. What happened?
Oh, I just met him after he came out and his partner.
Oh, I thought you said you missed yours.
Oh, I missed my own coming out.
Yeah,
I did.
Shit fucking sailed.
I did. If I came out, yeah, I missed it.
Like, the last chopper out of Vietnam and you can never get another one,
I did used to work in a warehouse where I did not know it at the time, but at least 80% of the warehouse thought I was gay. And it was only until I'd left, gone to university, and then updated my relationship status to has a girlfriend. I had a few people messaging me, what the fuck?
Oh, you never told us this. How's that never come up?
Oh, I remember this. Grace told me.
Oh, he probably has told me. I've got a shit memory.
I don't remember going into the room and being like, guys, just so you know, and getting messages saying I was gay. But I'm not.
You had to explain the entire backstory to people who've never heard it.
But anyway, we're just three straight guys and we're going to talk about some films. Brad, have you got an opener for us this week? You got a quiz or something?
Well, I half thought we could go kind of in order of the year because a lot of good stuff came out at the start of this year that I forgot. I always get the year wrong of movies. I always think what came out this year came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is, some listeners may not know, is the UK has really fucked up release dates. So loads of these movies that are like the best of 2024 might not have come out until January this year. So I've personally tried to not pick any of those just to make it not confusing. But there are a few that didn't come out until January, or even in some cases didn't come out till March this year, even though they were out last year, everybody else. So an example of that is I'm Still Here, which is up for the Oscars earlier this year. Didn't come out till 2025 in the UK.
Yeah, that was the same with the Robbie Williams biopic. Any Americans listening, he's a singer in the UK and he had a big film come out, but I don't believe it came out to the following year in America. So I was Googling 2025 films, seeing what I'd seen. I was like, oh, I saw that. I was like, nope, that was 2024 for us.
Where was it?
I think
that sort of makes sense. He basically has no profile over there. There's a movie about him being a monkey. I've not seen it. Does a monkey snort cocaine? I feel like I was told that happened. How cool. Is it good?
Is it good? It's just your standard biopic, but he's a monkey.
And do they ever address that he's a monkey, or is he just a monkey for no reason?
Yeah, no, he's just a monkey for no reason. Like in the film. Outside of the film, it was like his spirit animal. I never finished Better Man, though. I think I only got like halfway through. So... yeah, that's my review. That gives you some idea of how much I was enjoying
I thought that was the whole review, and I was ready to accept that. It's like, I only watched the first half, sod the rest of it.
Yeah, basically, that gives you an idea of the level I was enjoying it. But a movie that I did enjoy, not quite as much as I expected to. I expected to really like this, but still enjoyed it, was Mickey 17. And that definitely came out this year.
It did.
What, did you guys both see that?
I didn't know. I did. That's one of the ones I missed.
I was about to say, Tom, summarise the plot for us. Brad, summarise the plot for us.
Robert Pattinson gets copied and printed out of a human printer many times.
Yeah.
So because he's a disposable labourer, and then he does all the work and shit goes wrong when there's two of them with these weird slug creatures, and it's very strange. It's not the kind of movie. My main takeaway from it was that it's not the movie they make anymore. That kind of the $30 million budget movie doesn't exist anymore, which is what this should have been. I think it's too inflated and it had too much money for what it is, basically. You expect it to be... It's not a small movie, it's not a big movie. It's just this weird thing that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah, no, I'd sort of... It breezed past me. My brother did see it, and he sort of only, like, half recommended it, and I was like, oh, yeah, so I don't know now. So it's one of them that just sort of slipped by.
It's enjoyable. I think it's the marketing that was bad for it. It's that it built it up like it was going to be this amazing thing, and I think it's a nice, easy movie you can watch. Like, it's not the be-all, end-all that it was kind of made out to be in the marketing.
Yeah.
An easy film. That director's known for very weird, hard-to-watch films, isn't he?
He's known for making communist films, which is great.
Oh.
Every single movie he's made, I think, has that.
Is it the same guy that made Snowpiercer?
Yeah.
Am I remembering that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say his movies are hard to watch. I'd say they're really entertaining. They all just deal with the class struggle. That's that theme that he likes to put in every movie. But it does it in interesting, fun ways. So
Okay, I've got an interesting question for you guys. Do you know what the highest grossing film of the year was?
I'm going to assume it's Jurassic World.
Or my outside pick was the F1 movie.
I don't think that did
Maybe.
as well as Jurassic World. And I find it weird that Jurassic World was a movie a lot of people went to see. It made loads of money. It's like, really? After the shit trilogy we just had? And people will always go and see dinosaurs, I guess.
According to the list I'm looking at, Jurassic World Rebirth, I assume you're referring to, is number 4. There's 3 films above it. Do you want to take a guess?
Superman?
Maybe Superman.
Superman is number 8.
Right.
F1
okay.
is number 7.
Is it? F1 made $600 million. I thought that would put it near the top, but I don't know. Inflation, I guess. But
The top film, get this, the top film made $2.2 billion.
billion? I can't even think of what that would be.
I'm not aware of a big release. Avatar's coming out, but it's not out at the time of recording this.
Yeah, Avatar's not out yet as we speak, yeah.
Number 3 was Minecraft.
Oh,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That was just under $1 billion as of
Yeah.
the date I'm looking at this. Second was Lilo and Stitch.
What?
Oh, of course, yeah.
That
No, that
abomination.
makes sense to me.
That was $1 billion.
Right, yeah, no, but that
Christ.
makes sense to me. And I think I remember actually that grossing a lot and people sort of expressing surprise about it because they're like, oh, well, it's just another one of these live action, not live action remake things, and all that sort of bollocks. But I think the thing people pointed out is that they aren't making, or they haven't been a lot of movies just for kids this year, as in like that are aimed at families. So something that you can just go to with your kids, if you're a parent, and it's like the actual quality of Lilo and Stitch compared to the old one. That doesn't matter so much.
Why is there a thing with Disney? Why did Disney now hate animation? Like, they're an animation company. Why are they so against animation? Like, they think it's a shitter version of making movies. It's not. It's a perfectly valid thing to do. Like, something can be better as a cartoon. Lilo and Stitch should be an animation. It's fucking stupid.
Well, and here's the thing, Brad. It is. It is.
Well,
one.
it is,
It's just- They already made it, didn't they? So, it's a weird one. It's a very weird trend that sort of develops there where they do these, like I say, and they call them live action, but they're so dependent on CGI and 3D animation that they kind of aren't, like the How to Train Your Dragon one, which is not a Disney movie, is it? But that's that's like frame for frame the same, but there's real people in it, but also still a CGI dragon, and it's strange. Like,
Apparently that's very good, according to all the people I know who've seen it.
I think it's because it's literally frame for frame exactly the same as the original one. Like it's just like a reskin.
That makes a bit more sense, at least.
Yeah.
That suits being live action a little bit. Like, doesn't really matter if it's animated.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you sort of wish they had the bravery to make it a little bit different, though, don't you? It's like the original, it is really good, but it already exists.
Thing is, though, Tom, do you remember Gus Van Sant remade Psycho shot for shot with Vince Vaughn?
Yes,
And
but
everyone
I think,
said it was crap, inferior. Why didn't that work?
I think some of that, I think that there's quite a large gap between the two, right? And I think that's probably where the experiment of Gus Van Sant's remake of Psycho comes from, is there's a shifting sort of audience relationship to movies, and also a shift in how the way the movies are made. So that maybe things that were shocking 40 years before that, I can't remember the exact time I got up to now, now aren't, because the things that we're used to seeing in movies are so different. And, and that kind of, because it's all suggestion, isn't it? The killing scene in Psycho, rather than actually seeing anything. But then, you've got decades of movies where they'll show you everything. I think our relationship to those movies and that kind of shock and horror has just changed. And I think, if anything, it doesn't necessarily make the remake of Psycho really good, but it does make it interesting as an idea. It's like, okay, how does this change if we just do the same thing? So it's a strange, interesting idea. But then I think, maybe for Lilo and Stitch, let's say, not enough time's passed for that sort of dissonance to form between them. Or same with How to Train Your Dragon. Like How to Train Your Dragon, the original animated movie, is just not that old. Well, what is it? 10 years old or something?
It's like a long time ago to a young person, and that's why you can reboot something like Spider-Man once every 8-9 years, isn't it? Just to a young person,
sure.
That's just a great amount of time. But you guys still haven't told me what the highest grossing film of 2025 is.
I have no idea.
I think I just don't have a clue, to be honest.
I bet I've
You ready
never
for
heard
this?
of it.
Yeah.
Is it a Hindi movie or something? Bollywood movie?
It's Ne Ja 2, which is a 2025.
That sounds like a Bollywood movie.
It's actually an animation. It's a Chinese animation adventure fantasy.
Never heard of it.
And the sequel to Xia from 2019. Apparently, it's a good animated film. But A24 released it, so you think it would have... I mean, put it this way, 2.2 billion at the box office. Someone saw it. How have we not heard of that? How?
If it's Chinese language, I suppose that China's now, or has for a very long time, has been one of the hugest box office generators, like, biggest movie audiences in the world. So I guess it does sort of make sense that they might have hits that are all their own.
But none of these are contenders for the actual best film of the year. So what do you guys reckon? What are your nominations?
So I want to go for a slightly wildcard pick first. It's one of my favourite movies of the year, but maybe it's not going to make it on too many other lists. And I think, technically, I think this one did come out in 2024 if you're in the US, but it just did not come out for a really long time here. But I really like Friendship, and not just the thing that you share between some people you like, but the movie starring Tim Robinson. Have you guys seen Friendship?
I did not see
Tom,
Friendship.
I watched it because you recommended it with our other friend.
Yeah.
And I did not know what I was getting myself in for when I watched that film.
So that's kind of where I was going to go with this, is that I wrote here in my notes that it's really painful to watch start to finish. But for me, in the best possible way. But I think if you either aren't familiar with Tim Robinson or you don't like his comedy, then it would kind of amount to 90 minutes of intense torture. Because it's just horrible. I think in between that, he is genuinely really funny in a lot of it, in the way that he is. And playing him against Paul Rudd in this works really well, I think. And I think if I had one main criticism of the movie, well, I've got two. One of them is that there's just not enough of Paul Rudd's performance. He's so funny in it. He's really effortlessly charming and sort of wins you over quite easy. And that part of the movie ends very quickly and sort of descends into madness. And I kind of wish I got more Paul Rudd and hanging out with him because he's so great. I think what I really like about it, the thing that pushed it over into saying this could be one of the best movies of the year is, and Craig will have seen it, is that there's a drug trip sequence in that movie, which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because if you have ideas about how a drug trip sequence should go, and this does not go like that. And for once, I'm not going to give any spoilers of this. You just have to see it in the context of the movie. It's so funny.
I look at your wife and I say, oh my God, I would love to just even be a non-sexual partner with her. You know what I mean? In business or something like that. And I would never say, hey, come into a sewer so I can fucking kill you.
I didn't try and kill her in the sewer. It was an adventure.
You should be dead. You shouldn't even be alive.
You don't even know me. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, don't do
Fuck
that.
you fucking piece of shit. She's so beautiful.
Well, that's got to be the best comedy of the year then, I assume. There's not been many comedies this year. That and Naked Gun, maybe?
I've got a comedy I'd mention, but just carrying on what Tom said from Friendship, I think a key to it is that you have to have a soft spot for cringe comedy.
Yes,
relating
definitely.
to stuff like the original version of The Office and Ricky Gervais's characters. You have to be, if you get any kind of enjoyment of watching a character cause an incredible amount of uncomfortableness in a room, you'll love it. If you can't stand that, this film will be almost unwatchable for you.
Yeah, it will be unwatchable because I think it's just essentially 90 minutes of him committing the worst social faux pas you've ever seen in your life over and over and over again. But within that, I personally found that really funny. And I think I also really love that he seems to be in an entirely different movie to everybody else because he doesn't act in the way that most actors act anyway. He's acting as if he's in a sketch comedy, and everybody else is acting like they're in an art house movie, so they're playing really straight against him.
All right.
And that both works and doesn't work, and is great. I loved Friendship.
I love it too, and I think I had the character is kind of unlikable, but in a great way. But I had a soft spot for him because I am someone who's always struggled with social skills to a certain extent, and this is a character who's almost in a tragic spiral of really not understanding how to interact around other people, and the harder he tries, the worse he makes it for himself.
The worse it gets, yeah. And I think in that way, it's really similar to Nathan Fielder's style of comedy, where much of it comes from the social awkwardness or the faux pas, and both of them are hamming it up, but you can see the elements of reality in that, and it adds that layer of, like you said, relatability and kind of a little bit of, you've got a soft spot for them because you're we've all done it, And especially in this movie, the key one is being excited to be in a new group of friends, saying the wrong thing, and just immediately almost like feeling the air leave the room, you know? And that's friendship.
That's friendship.
That's friendship. And the other thing I love about it is that you can say the title of the movie in a sentence like that, and it's always funny. Craig said he had a comedy on his list. What was your comedy?
I do. Mine's a bit more silly, a bit more mainstream, and that is Good Fortune, starring Keanu Reeves as Gabriel, an angel who's come down to help. I forget how to say his name. Aziz Ansari.
Oh yeah, is this directed by Aziz Ansari? This one.
Yes.
Yes, Aziz Ansari wrote, directed, and produced it, and he also gets on board Seth Rogen as Jess. And then anyone who doesn't know the plot to this, Aziz Ansari is your modern working class man who's struggling to make a living. Keanu Reeves playing Gabriel, who's kind of unfulfilled as an angel, whose only job is to save people from crashing while texting and driving, decides to intervene, and he has Aziz Ansari swap places with Seth Rogen's character Jess, who's a millionaire, and see how it all plays out.
Okay, how's this? Switch back, or you are evil, and this angel man will send you to hell forever. Smite him!
I can't send someone to hell. That's actually not my department.
Good God, man, you were very unhelpful.
And the film sticks to its premise really well. Like, I've seen quite a few comedy films, like Hancock, for example, where the premise it sells you on, it only does that for the first half hour, and then it kind of goes and does something
Hancock's
else.
a weird one. It is two different movies. It's the first half, which is the thing that's promised, and the second half, which is totally different.
Yeah, the film actually sticks to its premise throughout, which, fair play, and it's just a really good, solid mainstream comedy, to be honest. And like I laughed out loud like more than 5 times, which I think is really good for a main comedy film.
Yeah, and I think it's really good to see, actually. I think because we both put a comedy on our list here. I think when we did our best joke episode, I was like, man, I miss movie comedies. I think it's not like they don't exist anymore, but there is a lot less of them, and it is something you miss, sitting in a cinema and being surrounded by other people laughing at something. Like, you know, as in on your own at home, they're great, but I think really getting the chance when people make them to see something funny in cinema. I think especially like just a straight up comedy, just being like, okay, I'll go see something and it'll be a good time.
No, 100%.
Well, we've rattled off the best comedies of the year then. Should we go a bit through genre and talk about the best kind of blockbuster of the year? Which ones of those did you guys get to see, and what did you like? I'll throw out, I enjoyed Superman. Don't care about there's a huge debate of people hating it or loving it for bullshit reasons. Don't care about any of that. Enjoyable movie. Not great, not amazing, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think for me it was maybe, and I sort of like the James Gunn superhero movies, which, you know, I don't like a lot of superhero movies, but those ones are generally pretty good. But I just found it a little middling for him. Like it is good and it's fine. I just thought maybe, I think one of the things that sort of bothered me about it is that there's like the needle drops in it. They're like, oh, this feels like because they have to be here because it's a James Gunn movie, but I feel like none of them work in the way that they really work in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I really like the scene in it with him and Lois at the start. There's a long, like, I don't know, 5-minute scene at least of them talking. Wish there was more of that.
Yeah, I'm disappointed there wasn't more of that.
Yeah, same.
I'm in the same boat where I think they'd done good character work early on, and then I think as it goes on, I don't know, it just feels like there's a little bit of something missing for me. But I also did double bill that movie with Friendship in one day when I was with Cameron. And so I came out of Superman, I was like, oh, that was kind of fine. And we went into Friendship, and I was like, well, I mean, Friendship was my favorite movie that day by a mile.
Yeah.
But I think it's just does something that I love, which I think is maybe what's missing from Superman for me, is that I think that big blockbusters can be a little bit too afraid to alienate anybody. Whereas like Friendship is very alienating. It's for like 20 people in the entire world, and I just happen to be one of them. But Superman, I feel like it could do with narrowing its scope a little bit, you know, kind of deciding more of what it wants to be. I don't know. It's just it's definitely not a bad movie. It's a good movie, but I think it's just missing something special.
There was a bit too much going on, I think. Yeah, just pace it out a bit. Just take a moment.
It started out with that scene where Lois Lane's talking to Clark Kent, and they're sort of having this debate about where and when Superman should intervene and the morals of intervening. But then after that, it just feels like the film sort of escalates its pace, and it doesn't take a chance to breathe as much as it did at the beginning. It's sort of just going from one set piece to another, and it's really ramping it up.
Yeah, and you lose track of the character beats.
Yeah, exactly. I think fair play to James Gunn, because I think he made it more comic booky than your average comic book film, if that makes sense, with the inclusion of sort of Superdog and the robots in the Fortress of Solitude and sort of these obscure...
Yeah, he's not scared to be silly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I liked that, and it's a nice tonal change from a movie like Man of Steel, which I still reasonably liked as well, but I think it is nice to have a counterpoint to that as well.
Yeah, you can do different things with it,
Yeah, and I quite liked Crypto. I kind of liked that he was just a dick, to be honest. Peter's so like, instead of making him cute and helpful and kind, they're like, this dog, he's kind of a dick. But you like him anyway.
Yeah, that's
you
my
like him
favourite
anyway.
bit from Superman, where he says he's going to go save the dog, and then he goes, yeah, he's not even a good dog, but he's probably scared, so I'm going to save him. Like, oh, that's nice.
Maybe they'll take me wherever they took the dog. I don't know how else to find him.
It's a dog.
Yeah, and he's not even a very good one, but he's out there alone, and he's probably scared.
Yeah, and that's sweet, and that actually...
It's very much save the cat filmmaking. It's just put a dog in, people will give a shit. There you go. Even a CGI dog.
Or save the baby. There was a baby in the film, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, there was. I don't care about the baby, but you got to save the dog. I think everyone cares more about the dog. What did you guys think of the new Mission Impossible? The final Mission Impossible.
I'm going to give a spoiler. It's not making my list. I really didn't like it, and I quite like a Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I fucking love Mission Impossible as a franchise.
Yeah.
The last two, bit too bloated and big. That's why Craig's not seen them, and I'm editing them into one movie for Craig. To cut out.
You're going to save me a couple hours, but...
You'd save you a couple of hours and would make them better, I think. I didn't love part one, but this part two movie, I know that they're not called that anymore, but it is a part two. It spends too much time explaining the plot of part one.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a good hour and a half before they just get on with the plot of this new movie. And like...
I'm editing part two now, and I've cut out the first hour.
Yeah, and because you wouldn't lose anything.
There's one thing that changes, but the rest of it doesn't make a difference, really. You can get away with it. So, yeah, it was just kept going on, saying the plot. I'm like, I get it. Come on.
Yeah, it is, and it's too much. And I think you just, especially with build-up as the final one, you just wanted to get to it in a way. You're like, yeah, we did the build-up in the last movie, which was already quite lengthy. And I think it does the action set pieces a disservice, because there's two very big action set pieces in it. And both of them are amazing. And they're both amazing in different ways. One of them is the big classic Tom Cruise action sequence where he's doing a ridiculous stunt and involving the biplanes and everything. And it's genuinely so good. And the other one in the submarine, where it's basically just plays out like, as a dialogue-free section for a really extended period of time. It's really tense and cool.
But if the story's not there underpinning it, you're not as on edge, you're not caring as much, Yeah,
you get lost and you're like, oh, okay, and I think, I really wanted to like it. I was really hoping for better from that movie, and there are really good things in it. It's just, it spends too much time rehashing part one.
The very ending of it was weird. It's all about them trying to kill this AI entity thing, and then they trap it in a little box in the end. And it's like they're on like some weird like sci-fi hard drive essentially. And the whole movie's about them going to destroy it. But at the end, Tom Cruise has it and walks off into the crowd. Like, why has he not destroyed it? He's kept it. It's like, this is mine. I'm going to keep this.
Yeah. In terms of blockbusters that I did like, let's move along here. I think this one I think will be a popular one. But my favourite of that sort was Sinners. Which is a really great movie, a great movie. It's great to see a big budget original movie like that that's not part of an extended universe or a pre-existing property, and have it do really well. And it's a really, really character driven for that sort of movie. That's how we sort of touched on with Superman, how what we liked about that was earlier on with the longer character scenes. I think Sinners does a lot of that really, really well without abandoning that later on.
It's got a very cool vibe, Sinners. Really like the vibe of it, just overall, the music and stuff, all like working together. And that's why Sinners is actually my pick for the winner for the best movie of the year. That's my number one pick.
I think you're not alone there.
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue with. I think it's a really, really strong movie. It looks amazing. The music is incredible. The casting is basically perfect. And it's some really, really standout sequences from it, like the music sort of through time sequence in the barn as they're playing. It's just incredible.
Very cool.
And it's a really like original sequence there, in that, like, okay, I don't mean that it's doing anything that's never been done before, but it's sort of like when you think of big standout sequences from blockbusters, they aren't normally scenes like that, where it's like a celebration of music and culture and like, it's like a joyous moment. It's not a big, it actually stands out more than the later action scenes in the movie, I think. in a really big way.
And it was definitely a movie of two halves.
It is, yeah. It builds to a different climax.
It's very much a setup, a slow thing, all about them starting the new business for the first half of the movie, and then suddenly twist, vampire movie.
But the vampires is obviously really thematically linked to what the movie is about, which is that, they're creating this enterprise, and then the bloodsuckers, come and try and take it from them and dilute what their success, their culture, everything is. And so, that way, it's really nicely linked. And I think it does that better than so many other blockbusters that I've seen. It's like that. It's just so cool as well.
Very entertaining.
Basically, Ryan Coogler saw From Dusk Till Dawn and thought, I could do that better.
Yeah, it's a similar sort of setup to a movie, but it's one of them where you're like, the setup, bare bones of it, is not too unique, but the way that it's done really is, and it has that cool look and everything and vibe, like Brad was saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically a horror movie, but it's also a musical, and it's also like, I think it just spends the first half of the movie getting to like the characters, like most horror movies try and do. Introduce the characters and then let's kill them off one by one. But it doesn't feel tropey. It doesn't feel like a genre movie as much. It feels like its own thing, which keeps it like refreshing, a lot more entertaining. The only issue I have with it is an issue that I think Craig has with it, which is that it keeps changing the fucking aspect ratio. And I hate when movies do that. Yeah. Because you just immediately get taken out of the movie. You go, they've changed to a different camera now, have they? Oh, that's interesting. I want to be thinking about the movie, not thinking about the production of it.
Yeah.
But why are you doing that?
Going from IMAX to non-IMAX is kind of jarring for me personally. And the IMAX shots look great, but get in or get out,
Pick one.
Yeah, I do genuinely feel the same way, but I think that problem is massively exaggerated at home. I think because I had the pleasure of seeing it in cinema early in the year on the big IMAX screen, and I think the screen is so large that you do notice, but it's almost like harder to notice the change in that it's less distracting.
Yeah. I keep thinking of it as a video game transition, but did you notice when they're about to have a showdown and someone invites the vampires in?
Oh, the black bars come out, don't they? It doesn't just cut it.
Rather than cut, they slowly rise like a video game cutscene transition in Mortal Kombat or something. I was like, okay, that was sick, that was cool.
But that's what I mean, it's cool. And so, I really loved it. I really loved it. It's one of those where I came into it with a lot of hype because you almost couldn't avoid the hype for around then. And normally you're let down when you go into something with that amount of hype. But really, really good movie. Great performances. And I think Ryan Coogler directed the movie. I think what I love about it is I saw something after I'd seen it where he was in an interview and he said something along the lines of so I've made all these movies and I made Fruitvale Station, which is based on a real story, and it's a story that he wanted to be able to tell, but but that story is from real life. It's not his story. And then Creed, and he's like, that's Stallone's story, and Black Panther, and that's Marvel's story. He was like, Sinners is the first Ryan Coogler movie. This is what I'm about. And I think as a huge statement of what you're about as an exciting blockbuster filmmaker, it's a big one.
It did feel refreshing that there's a new director in town who sort of Hollywood's willing to give a significant amount of money to do something original.
Yes.
I felt like the landscape was getting a bit stale with the same filmmakers always getting money to do things and sort of not enough newer talent coming through to get sort of big budget opportunities to make a statement.
Yes, it's a big swing for it to have been greenlit and one that's really paid off.
I really like the Jack O'Connell in that. He played the main vampire. I thought he was really cool in that.
Yes, yeah, he's really good, yeah.
And he was also in another horror movie that I know Tom rates, which was 28 Years Later. He was only in it for 2 minutes at the very end, and it's very strange.
And he's actually in my least favourite part of the movie. I think for me, I loved the movie so much 28 Years Later, and I think I loved it for a reason that I think some people might not like it, which is that it's so different from maybe what I was expecting. A lot of people were expecting it to be a horror movie, like the 28 Days Later, the first one. And it has horror elements, but I wouldn't say it's like a full-on horror scary movie in maybe the sense that the first one is.
Yeah, it's more of like a drama set in a horror universe.
Yeah, it's a drama set in a horror universe, and it's thoughtful and emotional in a really unexpected way. One of my favorite parts is the emotional climax of the movie. It's so beautiful, and it really got me. And I was like, I really wasn't expecting that going in. I thought a lot of the stuff that it does do really good, which is with Danny Boyle's style and the sort of unconventional editing of picture and sound together, the sequence with the Boots poem, the really intense deranged reading of that, combined with the music of that montage sequence towards the start of the film is absolutely incredible. And you sort of expect that because that feels like a hallmark of Danny Boyle's filmmaking.
If we kept walking, we'll get to a place where you can't see the sea.
Aye. You walk for days or weeks without seeing the coast. There's nothing out there, Spiky. And where they aim for?
There's other villages.
Aye, but none have anything we don't have. And we stay out the towns and villages.
I have marked it. We can Helen certify it.
Which is just, really unexpected, really emotional, and really loved it. Which is why the ending didn't work for me, because it just feels like this crazy tonal whiplash.
Yeah, very
where
weird.
I'm like, oh, okay, right, this is piloted in from a different movie, and I don't know if I want to watch that one.
Maybe it'll work for the next one they do. What's the next one going to be called?
Yeah, maybe it'll work for the next one, which I think might come out by the end of this year, or is very early next. Because they were shot back to back, I think.
What I liked about 28 Years Later, he just made weird choices, Danny, but not weird, just like the choice that you wouldn't expect. Like, I think going in from watching the trailers and from watching horror movies or any kind of movie, you'd expect Ralph Fiennes to be a villain.
Yeah, and the movie plays with your expectation of that.
The kid's excited to meet him, and he thinks there's hope in the world for his mum and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the guy's going to turn out to be a villain and a dick, and he'll discover the world's dark. That's the movie you normally do. Instead, it's just like, he's not a crazy man, actually. He's a nice guy. He's a bit eccentric and strange, but he was nice and helped. And
he actually is the only one in that world who has sort of adult and sensible relationship with loss. You know, the people on the island are, and the metaphor for this is not subtle, the people on the little island are burying their heads in the sand about what's happening in the wider world, and becoming increasingly isolationist. And they're like, okay, Ralph Fiennes, his character is crazy. But, he's almost the only one who's like, well, this is the world we live in now, and we've got to deal with it. And so even though he can't help it, it's just, he's a really like touching character. Great performance as well from Rafe.
And there's also zombie penis in it. Let's not forget.
That guy, he's hung as hell. He's hung as hell, is what you've got to say.
That was the scariest part of the movie.
It's a bit distractingly hung, this one guy.
As said earlier, we're just three straight guys doing a podcast.
It's three straight guys doing a podcast.
So final one on my list, my actual pick is Sinners, but the other one I wanted to talk about that I think is the other contender that people will have that'll probably do well at the Oscars. One Battle After Another. What did you guys see it? What did you think of it?
Yeah, so saw One Battle After Another, and I think, just to talk about what we were talking about with Sinners, is everybody talks about it being like great movie of the decade or great movie of the year, and I think it is so hard. Like, I generally see in movies these days, I don't watch any trailers, I don't read any reviews, I try not to gauge any reaction whatsoever. I just try and go in blind, and so I really get my experience of it, because I do find that setup ruins things for me a little bit. Yeah. Whether people say something's really good or really bad, or it affects you enjoying the movie a little bit or changes it.
I definitely had the same thing with One Battle After Another. People saying it's movie of the decade. It's like, oh my God, it's going to be sick.
Yeah.
PTA, who I love, he's been my favourite director.
Yeah.
Leo, great. Del Toro, like, it's going to be sick.
Yeah. And it's a really good movie.
It's very good.
I really liked it.
Really enjoyed it.
I was just a little bit let down by it, because I think you go in with too much,
Yeah, exactly.
And that's so hard to do with. And I think, again, that's because of like a little bit of a delayed release date. Like, I think I saw it the day it came out in the UK, but that wasn't soon enough, because everybody was already, you feel like the conversation's already done.
I think part of the reason why people liked it is because of what it was about. Speaking to American culture especially, but across the world as well, about immigration and all these things. People agreed the fuck out of it, so therefore they enjoyed it more and big it up.
Yeah, and I think if you live in Trump's America, whatever, I think that probably does hit a little bit harder. I think things like that are happening all over the world, and it's not like Britain's free of that sort of thing as well. But I think maybe it does hit harder. An American movie about something that's a really big sort of political sort of flashpoint in America at the moment. And I think actually interesting about that is that it's Paul Thomas Anderson's first modern day set movie.
Yeah.
Because it's an adaptation of Vineland, which is not set in by a novel by Thomas Pynchon, which is not set in the present day, but he moves it to the present day. And I actually think, that does help it become more relevant.
I think the best part of the movie for me was there's a bit at the end where the girl that is on the run, for the listener if they've not seen it, she's on the run and people are coming to kill her, and she's driving down this road that's like up and down, really high and low, and you can see the car that's chasing her is literally above her. It's that like high up and far, and the camera keeps going over these waves so you can't see what's coming.
Oh, and it's the playing with the sight lines
and with the music. It's so fucking cinematic.
So cinematic. A great location, a great use of a great location.
And sorry, the up and down thing, not only does it look cool, but it then factors into the plot.
Yes, it factors into the way that set piece plays out, so they've used it in a really great way. And I think actually another one of my favourite moments is how that when that sequence resolves and the daughter's reunited with the father, they have these two devices, like these trust devices, that play a note each, and then they play a different combined note when they come together. And that forms part of the actual score as well as they see each other again. And that's a really beautiful moment. It's a really great scene in a really good movie. And lighter than that, I love Benicio del Toro in that movie. I think he's incredible. He's so funny. He's really effortlessly funny in that movie.
Yeah, he's so fucking chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's really chill, and just his delivery of a few small beers is just...
Yeah, I've had a few small beers.
It's so good.
You been drinking today?
I've had a few.
A few what?
Few small beers.
I also really liked the Illuminati plot they had going that I think it managed to be dramatic and also funny at the same time as a great
The
satire.
Christmas Adventurers.
Yeah, it's a great satire.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's played so straight, like it manages to be incredibly funny because they almost aren't drawing attention to how funny it is.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm going to get right to it. There's an unconfirmed report that Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw is the father of a mixed-race child. Which mix? There's no real easy way to say this, but yeah, it's black.
I'd like to mention one film, and that is Sorry Baby by Eva Victor.
I've seen this, yeah.
And I have not heard of this.
It's a black comedy about a very difficult subject because the main character suffers a sexual assault at the hands of a university master's professor.
I'm looking at the poster. There's a kitten in it. Is the cat okay?
Yes.
The cat's okay.
Oh, good.
Cat's
Good.
very comforting.
It balances a tone very well between drama and black comedy. I think it was very brave because I'm someone who likes dark humour and black humour, but I only do that around the comfort of friends who I know will respond to that in a not offended way, but like to actually make a film with it and sort of knowing people who might have suffered from the same thing the characters suffered from will see it.
The key to that though is that the joke is never on that character, right? I think any sort of humour in there it does come from like the absurdity of that situation and the way people treat her or react to her around this. And I think it's like the dark comedy is the absurdity of it all.
And have you showered?
I took a bath.
So it's usually best to go to the emergency room right after something like this happens.
Oh, okay. I will definitely keep that in mind for the next time.
Well, that's when we would use a sexual assault forensic evidence kit.
Oh, okay. I feel like you just need to tonally shift away from the tone you're taking right now. Like we just need a tonal shift.
But it's not all doom and gloom, like you said. It just have the sort of the black comic elements, and I think actually it leads up to a really sweet moment. And she has a long conversation with a guy who owns a sandwich joint, and is he played by the same guy who plays the guy who thinks the Zodiac killer in Zodiac?
Oh yeah,
yeah, John Carroll Lynch. So in my mind, he's associated with being this, potential Zodiac killer, and he's so threatening in that one scene, where he's got the watch and he crosses his leg and
yeah.
And he teaches her like the anxiety breathing techniques that you have to do in real life as well, like really authentic stuff.
Yeah,
and,
really authentic, but he's just so not like overwhelmingly nice. It's not like he comes in and it's sort of like, oh, he's the only nice guy that's ever existed compared to all these other people. It's like, but in a really quiet, like really lovely way, he's so nice and sort of so what she needed in that moment in the movie, that character. Yeah, that scene is so beautiful. Favorite in the movie. And it centers around having a really good sandwich.
Yeah.
It's like, that always makes people feel better.
Something pretty bad happened to me, so that's probably why I'm acting weird.
How bad?
I guess really bad.
I could have just picked Sinners, but I'm picking this one to be different, but also because it's really good. My favorite movie that I've seen this year, well, favorite movie minus Sinners. Sinners is a unanimous winner, but Begonia, I think I'm going to put as my winner for this one. The new Yorgos Lanthimos movie, Begonia. So first off, love it. Really good movie. It's much tighter than Poor Things. Poor Things has a lot of different subplots and is all sort of like episodic in structure. Loads going on. Begonia has probably 4 or 5 characters in it throughout the whole movie. So not a lot. Very direct in being about what it's about, and without losing any momentum really for that. It's one of them. It plays with your expectations of what the movie is about and what its characters' motivations are and who you should be trusting, who you should be siding with as the film goes along. So it flips around this way and that way, and you're like, okay, you know, should you be siding with Todd from Breaking Bad? Should you be siding with sort of Emma Stone and how that all fits in? Well, there's enough little clues about where it's going that as you approach the final stretch, you're like, okay, all right, yeah, no, it has to go the way that I think it's going to go.
I've not seen Begonia, and I had no idea what it's about. I'm not a Yorgos Lanthimos fan. I don't like anything he's made, basically. But this has a great plot summary. Here, I'll just read it out for the listener if they don't know what this film is either. Two conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she's an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. That's a great premise for a movie.
It's a great premise. I think it's a remake of a South Korean film called Save the Green Planet, but it's very direct in being what it's about. It doesn't like overcomplicate that. It's like it is two conspiracy guys who kidnap a CEO because they think she's an alien, and they're trying to get proof that she's an alien so that they can commune with the aliens and, you know, solve whatever problems they feel like there is in the world. And it's just fantastic. And I think for a movie that, like Yorgos often does, sort of kind of delights in making you feel really uncomfortable or disgusted, or, you know, it can be quite like graphic, gory, etc. Actually, there's quite an emotional weight to it in certain parts, and parts of it are beautiful. And like I say, the ending's what sold me on it, to be honest. I think the ending is so good and so over the top and batshit. I love it. And Jesse Plemons is amazing in it.
Jesse Plemons is slowly becoming an actor where if I see them in something, I should think it's going to be a great movie. He's very believable, very good at being creepy, and very good at being this kind of like dim, like the dim boyfriend character, like in I'm thinking of Ending Things. He's just very good in these certain roles, and he's really good in he's only in it for like a minute, but he's really good in Civil War as well, which I watched the other week.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic in all of those, and I think he's genuinely one of the sort of better actors there. He's not a leading man, but to me, he's almost like sort of the current version of Philip Seymour Hoffman, where it's sort of like he's not necessarily going to be the main character, but he's going to be absolutely fucking great.
Similar look and vibe to Phil.
Similar vibe and similar kind of range as well, because the Begonia character is very different to the Civil War character, and he gives that character a lot of depth. The Begonia character could be quite easy to pigeonhole, and you know, not a very complicated character at all, but he's complicated because he's played, like, because of good writing, but because he's played by Jesse Plemons, and the performance is so good.
Where's my hair?
Your hair has been destroyed.
You shaved off my hair?
Yes, we've shaved off your hair.
Why have you shaved off my hair?
To prevent you from contacting your ship.
It's a really great movie, and I think I loved that Yorgos got all the acclaim and the Oscar buzz and awards in different categories and stuff for Poor Things, and then made two movies that are unlike that entirely. You know, he could have milked that sort of like period piece sci-fi, you know, mashup. He could have milked that forever and made a pretty good career, but instead he very quickly made two movies that are totally fucking different to that. They're still Yorgos movies, they're still really good, but totally different.
Maybe I'll give Yorgos another go then and watch Begonia. I'll try him again.
Yeah. Fantastic movie. And I think, recency bias makes it my pick for overall winner, but I think I'm going to have to go with Sinners as well. It's so good.
Right, the best movie of 2025 is Sinners. Yay.
Woo! Woo! Traveling, I don't know why the world I'm here. Woo! Boy! For the woman that I'm loving, she sure don't feel my care. We gonna make some money. We gonna make some money.
Obviously. It was obviously going to be Sinners. I think we all knew coming to record this today it was going to be Sinners. It's such an easy pick. It's it's watchable as hell, and it's artsy, it's great. It does all the things, ticks every box.
Yeah, and I say it's so nice to see a big movie like that, you know? They aren't making a lot of them. There's a big swing from basically everybody involved to make that movie, and it's so good. So good.
I love that it's two movies in one. I think that's my favourite thing about it. It keeps it entertaining. It's the switch.
Do you prefer, though, the first half or the second half?
I think the first half. I really like the first half.
I loved the first half. It could have happily stayed like that for me, and I would have been really happy.
But I am happy it changed. I'm happy it switched things up, because it's just like you're suddenly getting refreshed. It's suddenly a different movie, and it
makes the switch up work so well that you aren't disappointed by that. Whereas, like I think we were talking about something else, the switch up can kill a movie.
Yeah,
you know, all that goodwill they built up could have been killed, but
and it can be silly just suddenly saying vampires. They put it they grounded it well enough to make the twist make sense and work within the world. Unlike, as Craig compared it to before...
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn. That kind of just switches as like a novelty almost. It's just, we're bored of making this movie, let's do a vampire movie instead, is how it kind of feels in that. Whereas in Sinners, the whole point of the movie is the twist and that.
You know what's annoying though? Lauren came in from a day out in London, just like as all the vampire shit was really kicking off, and like, no. And she's like, oh, you got a vampire movie. I'm like, no, you didn't see the first half. Like, it was a different move. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, this doesn't do it justice. Like, honestly, I'll give it a big compliment, which is the scope and the visuals. And the epic sets and the extras and the characters hustling and bustling and sort of incorporating, the historical context, Ku Klux Klan and that. It was the closest thing I felt like I'd seen to a Sergio Leone film in a long time.
Ah, right.
Like in the modern era.
Yeah, it's got elements of Western, hasn't it, throughout it? And
massively, yeah. The whole time, I was like, this is so like Once Upon a Time in the West or Once Upon a Time in America even. Like, the vibe, like, yeah, loved it.
And also, Michael B. Jordan is just watchable as fuck in this movie. Every single time he's on screen, like, oh, sick, cool. He's so cool. As both.
Brad,
twins.
would you count this as a Brad movie? Because he is a very handsome man.
He's a handsome man doing things.
Who does stuff.
He's very handsome and is very handsome.
And there's double of him.
Oh, it's not your typical Brad movie, but it's not a typical movie in any sense. I think that's what's so great about it. It's a new kind of thing.
Yeah, and it as I say, and then it ends up being a crowd pleaser though. And if this is the first true Ryan Coogler movie, I want to see more. You know, it's what a fucking movie.
The one weird thing about it is that it came out really early in the year, which makes it less likely to win Oscar seasons around about now, and on the lead up to Christmas and stuff. And also, it's a vampire movie. You'd think you'd put it in October, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I did think this, but then I was like, I think maybe the reason they didn't is that I think if you sort of did that and marketed it all as a horror movie, I think people then might be disappointed by the build-up to it.
Maybe,
because that almost feels like, when you're a horror fan or whatever, and the build-up, I feel like maybe you do just want it to be a bit out of the way before you get to the thing.
Maybe.
So maybe they were trying to avoid that kind of...
Maybe. Counter-programming or something. Yeah. Do you reckon Michael B. Jordan gets more money for playing two roles? I've always wondered this.
Don't know. I've always wondered that. If you play two people, do you get more money?
More bang for your buck,
You have to do it twice. I imagine he's got, as the star as well, he's got some bank from that, surely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
do you think it'll win the Oscar? Do you think the Oscars will agree with us?
I don't think so. I think, like I said, I think it's 2 out of Oscar season, and
I think it's going to one battle after another. But we'll find out, and we'll do an Oscar summary.
Oh yeah, we'll do the alternative. Wait, are we going to do our own alternative Oscars?
Oh, of course we're going to do our own alternative Oscars.
Yeah, no, we have to, don't we?
Yeah,
it's
far more
Oscars.
valid. Do you reckon anyone will show up? Any of the actors?
Yeah, we can send the invites out. I'll get Danny Boyle on the phone. And...
Oh yeah, Tom's met Danny Boyle. He'll come. He's a good egg. He's
a good egg. He's a good dude.